What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Look who it is. Maxwell Smart, live and in person, right beside me, ready to cap this NCAA basketball card. Star of SBR's March into Madness, 9:30 p.m. every morning. But right now, baby, sitting in my apartment in Parkdale.
Hey, listen, Jim, I made it through the concrete jungle. I managed not to bring you coronavirus. I'm ready to go. I am literally ecstatic right now. This does not make me any happier. I don't know how I could be happier. Greg Peterson's podcast, doing a show with Jimmy the Bag. Got to thank Nat at SBR. She's the one that lets me do this stuff. So you know what? Thanks to everybody that's here. Thanks to everybody that's supporting Jimmy. And let's kick this show off. Let's move those markets. Let's cash those winners. And of course, let's serve some bookies, local bookies, cock soup.
Cock soup is on the menu, and there's no rules anymore about how many times we can say cock soup, cock soup, cock soup, cock soup. Because you know who we work for when we're sitting right here? We work for you guys, man. We work for you. And if you demand us to say cock soup 25, 50, 80 times a day, that's what we do. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got not applicable. First in the chat, Sammy B. Sammy B will be joining me at my poker game tonight. Sammy B going to be joining me at my poker game tonight. Michael Ervelina, Kamikaze Kush, Doug Bates, Garrett Kerr, Bobby Arms, Dan Kelly says I'm better than COVID-20. 3 second half team totals for Dan Kelly. Miami Heat under, Memphis Grizzlies under, and Orlando Magic over. Second half team totals for Dan Kelly. Going to copy and paste that right now. We've got a really nice card for us to break down as well. Just 11 games on the NCAA. We're going to be able to get in there and really fucking milk the shit.
We're going to look at the numbers. We're going to look at the market moves. And of course, we're always going to take what our guys in the chat have into consideration, because you know what? They see angles. We see angles. We work together as a team. We beat the books. Simple as that.
Simple as that, Garrett. Kerr says, got the dab rig out because I heard there's a special guest on today's show, that being Maximilian. Tyrone Clark in the house. Dan Kelly says, when betting second half totals, try to get a better number than the pregame second half implied number. Got to do the work to beat the machines. That's our guy, Dan Kelly. Of course, you get those at halftime. There's backdoor cover. Says, Duke at home covering. We're going to beat the shit out of that game. Gerald Jones in the house. Omar J. Legend. Bobby Arms. Brooklyn Funk Project. He's going to be coming down and hanging with us. He's from Ontario. And we got Reese, Viral Video, Robbie Tagaloa, the Samoan Thunder in this joint, man.
My California Baptist freaking warrior in arms, bro. Love Melanakua and Ferran flavors.
Also, we're boozing. We're fucking boozing.
I got a Starbucks cup, but I don't drink Starbucks. I drink Cuban coffee. Drink the good coffee.
Respect. We're boozing. We're boozing here. To all you guys who've stuck with me and believed in this show, much love to you guys. Let's get after it. All right. Eduardo Solano, my guy, Big E in the house. Ron Lofton, ready to go. Danny Menlo, Raymond Reichart, Barry Gawkin, ready to go. There is Nilo. Nilo's also going to be coming in to one of these shows live and hang with us. Our guy Nilo in the house.
As long as you're not trying to bring mustard-colored baseball jerseys for my softball team, we don't have a problem.
No,
otherwise,
I've heard.
He's getting a chicken tender where the sun don't shine.
I've heard. Nick B in the house. I'm looking forward to this. Jimmy, round 2. Doug Barnhouse says round 2. Jay Stone, ready to get to work. Alan Action, Sue Ridge, Walla Dose, Jansen Bonson, Sean Shokri, Todd Petkoff, Sterling Ross, Will Turpin, Astute Chaos, Diesel Eugene in the house, Cobra Sports 609. There's Red Girl in the house. Red Girl. I got to meet her in person. I've had that incredible honor.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I got love for Red Girl because she understands the unders, sort of like our main man Noli knows Long Beach's finest, the master Jedi of unders. So I'm always down with Red Girl. Bring her on too.
Yeah, no, she's an incredible capper and great person. Kevin Riley in the house. We got Marcus X, Bagger Starve. Let's go. Neil P. Antoine Seymour. What a group, man. I'm so lucky. Alan Action in the joint. Hit the like button. Small Thrill. Nasty Nate. Rhode Island's finest right there.
Oh,
Nasty
man.
God
love for Nasty Nate.
Nasty Nate. Flick my Bick. Ramon Scott. Your guy Ramon Scott
Yeah,
in the house.
absolutely.
Zabuda, Jazz under 221. That is music to my ears. Zabuda, I'm on that spot. Viper NB, 2 days are back. 2 shows a day are back. That's right. Eric Rosas in the house. Shant Nicholas, Cashman, Dav Fenn, Daryl Rice, Bogey 34, Juan Ruiz, Mitch Bruner, Mela Palis Way. What a group. Kevin Garrett's, Guillermo Zutucci, Clayton's Crazy Vlogs in the joint. All right. It is time now, my friends, to get to work. Marcus X says, loving the new set, guys. I get to be here in person with Maxwell Smart, dude.
Damn straight.
God,
Damn
man,
straight.
I've dreamed of this opportunity, and it feels so good. Here in Parkdale, man. So you have left Parkdale, by the way. I know we got to get capping. We're going to get capping. It's 5:37. We got an hour, 23 minutes to the witching hour. Or do any of these college games pop off early?
Actually, I think that the only game that starts at 7, I think, is the Duke game.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
yeah.
So we got lots of time. There's John Garcia, Dave and Cal 48, Walla Dose, Bill McHugh, Josh Point O. Sue Rich says Max looks so uncomfortable. What? I don't know. I'm sitting right beside him, man. This guy's cool as a
definitely not
cucumber.
uncomfortable.
This guy's cool as a cucumber.
Maybe
man.
I'm a little shy about how I'm looking on camera or anything like that.
Don't
But that's
look.
normal,
the trick.
I'm
Don't
always subconscious about something.
Hmm.
It happens when you're low to the ground and you're wide out, I got the 34s on, guys. I got the 34s on.
My guy Jemiah Norman in the house, too sharp to be a square, ready to rock with us. Love seeing that. Red girl saying hello to
Jemiah is
everyone.
Old school, bro. Old school to our original
Oh,
DM
gee.
chat room.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love nothing but love for him. Anybody
Dexter,
in
bro.
Atlanta,
Absolutely.
roll with our guy there. All right, let's get to work. Quickly go over some market moves in NHL and NBA, and then get into what you do best, and that is college basketball.
Well, I also support local strippers.
You also support local strippers.
Support Popeyes franchise.
You support
And
Popeyes.
of course, I am a major advocate with my guy from Sporting with Facts, JJ, in peeing sitting down and how it's a very alpha move nowadays.
I piece of things sitting down.
You know
I'm
what?
40. I don't care.
That's the alpha way.
I don't care.
That's the alpha way.
You also love danishes.
Oh, apple danishes, cherry danishes, blueberry danishes. Oh my god.
What about the butter pecan Rican?
Nah, I
danishes?
don't get those danishes. I
Well,
don't
you're
get
gonna
those.
have
I
to
don't
right
get
now,
those.
Max. You're gonna have to right now because there's no Popeyes near. I'd have to go up to Bloor Street for that shit. But right here, I got you a fucking Danish, man. A goddamn Danish.
Wow.
Sticky as fuck from old Tim Hortons.
Good
Old Tim
Tims.
H. Tim. Oh, here it comes.
wow.
Here it fucking comes. Let me get this out, man. Here it comes. Little sticky. It's gonna be sticky.
Better jump that thing out of there.
There you
Holy
go.
crap.
There you fucking go, man.
Look at
There's a
that.
fucking
There
Danish
we
right
go.
there.
There we
There's a
go.
fucking Danish
Ready
right
to go.
there.
See, that's how you have to do videos with
There's a
food. Because you know what
fucking
food is? Food is God.
Also, it's sticky. It's sticky. So just in case, also made sure that we had some TP ready to go.
Hey,
A
you
roll
know
of
what?
TP
This
ready
guy's
to
a
go.
classy guy. He's got the TP. Forget the freaking dinner napkins. We don't do like that in Parkdale, okay? We keep it gritty, okay? We keep it gritty.
Got a roll of TP here ready
Damn
to
straight.
go.
I'll throw it at somebody if they come in the room,
Someone might come in the room. Someone might come in the room. All right. We'll just keep this here under this Canucks hat. But
Yeah.
anytime you need it, anytime you fucking need it, no, it's right there.
Absolutely. I don't want to be sticking up stuff,
Defin says there's stuff under every hat. There is stuff under every hat. There is stuff under every hat. Well, this is a dream come true. Getting to sit beside you, capping this card. All these cappers in the chat. This truly is a dream come true. Let's get after it right now. First, let's take a look at what I did make a move on. I made a move on the Detroit Red Wings first period. Very simple breakdown here. The Avs winning, and they're winning close games. Look at what they've done. They won 8 straight road games, 6 straight overall. The last 5 wins have come by a single goal. They're playing playoff-type hockey. What takes you out of that? Playing a last-place hockey team. That's what gets you out of that. I also was very thankful when I heard that in goal was going to be Hutchinson for these Avalanche. Let's see what I get. I got plus 200 right now. If I wanted, the Red Wings, the best you could get is plus 180. There you go, a 20-cent. Oh, actually, sorry, I take that back before I get too common. There's a plus 188 at Pinnacle. A plus 188 at Pinnacle. But I beat the market move at my book by 20 cents. Now, look, I want Nashville badly. I did jump on the Taint Play today, Prairie View A&M. We got Big Ragu in the house as well. I did want Nashville badly, but there's one statistic that I couldn't look beyond, and that's The Predators, 74.6% penalty killing. The Oilers, 29.3% power play. That made me think maybe I should make a move on a player prop for an Oiler power play point. Regardless of it all, I just have to stay off that game. Let's go to money line, spreads, and total, see what we're dealing with here. Has there been any change? Yeah, money coming in on Nashville. Money coming in fast on Nashville. Money coming in fast on Nashville. Tease going the three-way first period. So that means a tie is no longer a push for Tease, but he's getting rewarded at plus 325. There's my guy Larry Savage in the house. Laniel Land ready to get to work. Look at this. Mike Randall says this might be the best show in low bag history. Max and Jimmy together. Look, we're all going to get together. The game has changed. We've taken control. And
all you guys got to do is come to Toronto. Your American dollars are worth more here. You can get some free healthcare while you're at it.
Exactly.
And you know what? Then you come do a couple shows with Jimmy the Bag, doing what you guys were made to do. He pulled me out of the chat box. He's going to pull a bunch of you others like he's already done and shown. Big Ragu, Matt Randall. Come on. Let's go.
Let's fucking go. All right, so that's the NHL card. I see the late market move towards Nashville, and I respect it. I like it. I expect Nashville to win the game, but there's one stat I can't get over in Nashville's weak penalty killing and the Oilers' spectacular power play. I can't get over. T said I added Smashville. Look, you guys know the only futures I made in the Western Conference to begin the year were on Nashville. I need them to roll what it is. There's Lamont Williams in the house. Dan Kelly says, I'm coming to Toronto now that Max has invited me. Dan, come on. I've invited you. There's Cody A.V. says, my guy Jimmy Max. Cody A.V. representing my home city of Vancouver. Cody A.V., thank you for joining us. All right, so there's the NHL card. Let's move past it. One move only for me. Detroit Red Wings first period going for a big score. But it takes a lot of balls to bet a full unit on these shit-ass Detroit Red Wings. And when push came to shove, I cut $50. That's a 3/4 unit bet. I just, so $150. I didn't make it a $200 bet. I just push came to shove, and I pussified. I pussed out. Brooklyn Punch.
Why are you pussing out?
What's
going on?
It was either take $50 off the bet or not make the bet.
Do you need to go visit my favorite girl underneath the bridge?
Yes, I did. Can you break her down for me?
Well, listen, she's got fucking some rough hands, but it gets the job done.
See, I stare at Knuckles first. So if she's got those rough hands on.
If that's the case, then you and her are going to kick it off and be the best of friends.
Oh.
She's got Knuckles for days.
No, I don't think you get it. I don't think you get it. I don't think I do. I'm afraid of Knuckles. I don't want any scar tissue on the Knuckles. If I see any scar tissue on the
Knuckles. With women underneath the bridge, sometimes they get into turf battles and they got to smack each other.
Knuckles for days. I don't think you get it. I don't like. I want very effeminate Knuckles. Okay, let's go into the NBA moves before we hammer this NCAA basketball card and quickly go over these looks. So I took the Jazz Cavs under. I'm not happy that Andre Drummond is not going to be clogging the paint. This total went up to 222.5. So I bet it 1.5 higher than what I gave it out on at the show. It's now those 222.5 are gone. It's just 222s across the board. No Andre Drummond. If we want to talk about the big moves, thank Jay Money for letting us know on our early show. Jay Money, star of Jammin' with Jay Money on Sportsbook Review. He told us that Porzingis was not going to be in the lineup. He is not in the lineup. We're going to get to that game shortly. But I'm on the under in Jazz Cavs. I wanted the paint to be clogged. And I hope that Tristan Thompson and his fat ass clogs that paint. There's Beastly D says Jimmy is scared of getting fisted by a girl with big knuckles. Look, I've been fisted 0 times, Beastly D. I hate to break your heart here. I hate to break your heart, but I've had 0 fistings so far. Dan Kelly says whenever I should knock on wood, as if that might happen. So sure. Before you say it, Dan,
yeah,
I'll knock on wood.
I'm of a certain tribe. We don't knock on wood.
Tim Reichert saying move the microphone a bit closer to Maxwell. All right, let's make sure that you get heard, man.
Listen, Tristan Thompson, he's a cuck. Plain and simple.
Gregory Wilson says Tristan Thompson's out too. So what, there's no paint presence?
He's probably banging a Kardashian.
They're both out? Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God. Flipper, what is that nonsense?
Oh, Jesus.
What's you ain't using that left hand for nothing. Except typing and scrolling.
Oh, no. Okay, so I just need I need Nance and Love to play the entire game. Oh, Jesus. I needed a paint presence in this game. Now what I need is the Jazz to destroy the Cavaliers. Now I need Dan Kelly saying Zizic will be a fantasy play. Cody AV says, any thoughts on the Oilers tonight, Jimmy? Simple. I think that Nashville is a better hockey team, and I think they're playing good hockey right now. But the way Draisaitl and McDavid are playing, especially against the weakest penalty killing in the league, I couldn't back. Daryl Rice says I couldn't back the Predators. Daryl Rice says Jazz will destroy the Cavs. Nilo says Max looks happy. It's a change.
You know what, Nilo? I'm happy when I freaking get some honey, some chicken tenders in me, and a freaking pit and a visit to the local pipe fitters.
Yes.
It's a little early in the day. The sun isn't freaking down yet. Give me some time, and I'll get even happier.
That is why he came down to do the show, because his closer proximity to those local pipe fitters. Is that facts?
No, that is actually not. Okay. I prefer pipe fitters in a more affluent neighborhood, like Bayview Village type situation.
But I'm closer to Bayview Village than you are, right?
No, I'm talking about Bayview Village is Shepherd.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking North York.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where there's houses and driveways and no apartment buildings.
No government housing.
And no government housing and no crack whores.
Fuck those places. Fuck those places. All right. I've also noticed that Max hasn't touched that fucking Danish yet. I knew he's a fruit. No, don't force it. Don't force it. I knew he was a fruit Danish guy, but I went into Tim Hortons. I lost my shit. I was like, where are your fruit Danishes? You guys are going to make me look like an asshole.
You got to know that, like, when it comes to a Danish, there's only like a certain kind of Danish that you got to be going. And like, I'm sorry, but there's no bakeries that make those Danishes around here.
Come on, man. This ain't that nasty.
You know what? I'm a pretentious son of a bitch. No, I just look at me. I'm wearing a James Madison purple shirt.
You are, and we need to get
James Madison, baby.
We have time. So there's only one 7 o'clock game. Let me just
only one 7 o'clock.
All right, we got time. We got lots of time, so we can shoot the shit, have a few drinks. It's our show now. Okay, so Jazz Cavs, there's no paint presence whatsoever for the – look, I'm not going to take a 10-point favorite on the road here. I'm not going to take a 10-point favorite on the road here. Okay, so I'm not going to – God, I figured that they're just going to come after them early. 5.5 is the first half. 5.5 minus 5.5. Yeah, Max is always bourbon. He barely see. I drink the cheap shit. Max doesn't want this cheap shit, man. Max doesn't want this cheap shit. Okay, God damn.
I'm also with a background in the service industry, making drinks, getting people drunker, allowing them to hook up with each other. So I'm like a matchmaker. I'm a drink maker. I'm a freaking Winnebago buyer. Like, come on, what else do you want?
You're a Winnebago buyer?
Listen, I put enough money in people's pockets that they can buy a Winnebago. So I'm a Winnebago buyer.
That's a reach.
That's
a fucking reach.
You better. I'm going to give you this one thing. It's called Story Up. And that's what I got to say about reaching. I'm a Winnebago freaking
supplier, maybe, but you're not buying these Winnebagos. I don't see you rolling up in no fucking Winnebago.
I don't trust going out on the water.
Your shit would be stripped anyways right now if you brought it around here. It'd be fucking stripped. Nilo was like, "There's no parking in Parkdale." Yeah, there's parking, but your shit gets stripped. Okay. God, I think Daryl's right. I think Daryl Rice is right on this Jazz first half. I'm going to have time to sit and think about. I just don't like these giant road favorites. And the Jazz 2-4 homestands giving us nothing to give faith with. All right, look, I'm not going to make a move here. I'm not going to make a move here at this point, but I understand what Daryl Rice is doing, and I may make a move while Max is breaking down this card. Rockets Knicks under 230. I knew this wasn't going to be a popular look. Let's go to full game spreads and totals here. It's at 230.5 or 231. There's a 231.5 at Bovada. Initially, when I made the bet, the market was moving towards the under. And to me, with the Knicks pace last 5 at 28 in the NBA, and the Rockets playing defense for the first time all year, this was a slam dunk for me. And we'll see if it blows up in my face. But look at the Rockets here. 6 straight games, they've held teams to under 112 points. And the only reason why that Celtics-Rockets game got into the 221 range was because of overtime. That was it. So, Daryl Rice, I think I'm going to roll with you on this spot here. I just don't want to force it right now. Larry Savage said Westbrook is balling. Rockets, Knicks. Rockets open up at what? The Rockets opened up at -9. They're now -10. Look, these big road favorites, you're just never going to see me on. In NHL, I need to be rewarded for road teams. In NBA, you guys watch the way I cap NBA. Third year of capping NBA in front of you guys. Third year of me beating the NBA in front of you guys. Now, it's a marginal beating. You're not going to raise a family off the shit I'm beating it by unless your units are, $10,000 a unit. But I'm afraid of road favorites. I will always be afraid of road favorites and giant road favorites. Dan Kelly says, I'm on Knicks money line. I think they win the game. Damn. Dan Kelly, Knicks money line. I think they win the game. Damn.
Well, Dan Kelly knows.
Dan Kelly's an absolute
Dan
monster.
Kelly's wise. Dan Kelly loves Syracuse.
Okay. Rockets, Knicks. I'm on the under 230. And Reese says Knicks money line is worth a shot. I like it, Dan Kelly. Look, one thing that I've done. Look at these two pale horses from the dirty north.
Listen, there's no sun around.
But I was pale in Costa Rica.
Well, that's your excuse. I got a real one. I ain't going to no tanning salon unless someone hits my PayPal link, okay? Hit my PayPal link. You want me to go to the tanning salon?
Get this motherfucker caramel. Let's get this motherfucker caramel.
I'll tell someone I'm Greek. I don't care.
Sure.
I'll do it. I'll tell them I'm Portuguese also.
Respect.
I'll tell them I'm Italian.
Whatever it
takes. But I got no coronavirus because I hear a lot of Italians got that.
Yeah, they do.
Hey, coronavirus, bro. It's part of sports now.
Oh, yeah.
They're saying that March Madness attendance is going to be affected by the coronavirus. I'm like, are you joking me? Come on.
Look.
Go eat a chicken tender. Calm the hell down.
There's not been a lot of times I've agreed with Trump.
Well, sports tag, I could pass as an Italian. You just know that I'm not. So let's just
sports kicks are slowing down.
Let's just
sports kicks not buying that bullshit.
Okay, listen, bro. I got the braciole on the baguette ready to go with the meatball parmesan in the fridge. Okay, I learned from the best on St. Clair.
Okay. He's not buying your bullshit. Okay. Lamont Williams says, watch out for the coronavirus is serious, guys. Look, the coronavirus can get its big lips out and suck on my ball sack because it's just the flu. And if any of us die from it, you deserve to die. All right, let's move on. Blazers Magic. I stayed off this Blazers Magic spot. Portland, Orlando. Opened under 223.5. The total's gone down to 220. The Magic are playing at such a fast pace. The Blazers aren't defending. Look, I think the Hassan Whiteside can slow this game down, and Vucevic too. It's gone 3.5 points down. I'm staying away from this game very comfortably. Let's get into college basketball. Grizzlies, Hawks. I think that the Grizzlies are in big trouble here. I thought that all day long. Look, these Grizz just play the Lakers in this sold out arena. Now they got to go into Atlanta with 8,000 people watching. Coronavirus fears all over the place.
Hey, listen, that's what they're talking about. So.
Nobody's talking about. Actually, everybody's talking about it. You're right.
It's true. Everybody is.
Yeah, everybody is. But still, Ronald said Jimmy's hand impersonation because Handel has no compassion. He has no compassion.
Well, that's because they take the coronavirus people to Omaha, and that's where he lives because that's where the CDC is. So,
I didn't know that.
So he's just like, yeah, just waste them all. It's like 40,000. Like, just kill some chickens, kill some people.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, Grizzlies, Hawks. I've wanted the Hawks all day. There was a couple of plays of the day on the Grizzlies. So, look, I may make a move on the Jazz first half. I may make a move on the Atlanta Hawks. Both are moves that I may make. I'm going over the plays of the day to go over the guys that were on the Grizz. There was a plays of the day on the Memphis Grizzlies, and it's my guy N out of Rexdale. Memphis money line, Memphis plus 2.5. I just feel like this is a letdown spot. Sports Gag says Ant will have that crown in a month. He says putting out feelers for a new MLB capper.
I would say hit up Noli Knows, Master of Unders, or your guy JJ.
Okay. Usually the comments in the chat don't get it like that. Oh no, man. Oh no. Okay. Grizzlies Hawks. Darren White says books are catching up to Memphis. Look, I've wanted Atlanta all day. I also think that Atlanta first half is the spot to take them. Atlanta's won 8 of their last 10 at home. They're playing good basketball. I think I should put my money where my mouth is. I'm very close to doing that. So I'm going to write first half there. And I know that I want Jazz first half. I'm not going to pull the trigger. I'm going to let Max start breaking down this NCAA card and then make some decisions around that. Jazz first half, Hawks first half. There's my guy, Jimmy Stain. Jimmy Stain on Hawks first half -1. I think I'm going to roll with you. Ron Lawson says, love that this show can go rogue now. Because that's what it can do. I got Max in person right beside me for the first time in my life.
Well, don't knock me off my chair. Come on. I'm fragile.
You got that big ass, man. You're going to be fine.
It's true. I actually use it to my advantage. But yeah.
No, baby got back, man.
Well, no, not like that. I don't roll like
Bucks
that. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just not for me.
Bucks Heat. I don't know. I was just implying that you were like Johnny Taves with a big ass in front of the net.
Yeah, no, I don't play hockey. I play softball.
There's Al Hard in the house, so that'll make you feel better.
I'm the best softball outfielder out there. Right. So you'll see.
Yeah, we've seen no tape of this.
Listen, bro, I play at fucking Stanley Park. You'll come and you'll see me play, okay? Saturdays. That's my Saturday game down there.
Toronto should not have named a park Stanley Park when the best park in the country.
Norway also. Fucking Stanley Park. You'll come and you'll see me play, okay? Saturdays. That's my Saturday game down there.
Toronto should not have named a park Stanley Park when the best park in the country.
Norway also.
It's just not going to work.
You know what? Sorry, I don't have the eye-hand coordination to smoke pot and play softball with a hard ball coming at me 60 miles per hour. It just doesn't work. I'm going to end up getting hit in the face and another broken nose. It's already broken enough.
You know what? Speaking of which, I don't even hear the whistle.
Well, yes, I was actually going to ask that. I think it's a headphone type thing. When the mic is close to me, you hear the nose whistle, but it's there.
No, you're healing.
I don't think I'm healing. I think it's just
healing.
I think it's just the microphone setup.
You're healing. Xavier Wayne in this joint says, what it do, Port Arthur, Texas in the house. Shout out to my guy, Xavier Wayne, ready to get to work. Liberty Finder says, Jimmy, you need a store, sell low bagger items, help support the show and represent. Liberty Finder, you know what? Just you guys being here right now, because there's going to be no Patreon. There's going to be none of that. But we do need to figure out some sponsorship. I would like other people, non-low baggers, to pay for this shit. You know? Okay, but respect Liberty Finder. We do need to figure out how to get some cash in, unless these are all going to be just winners coming off. Winners coming out. Flipper says he did hear the whistle on the G Unit podcast.
Well, it was there. I was nervous. Doing that thing. Holy, yeah. I wish that my pipe fitter association would sponsor the show. That would be awesome. But they just take money. They don't give it out.
But of course, Flipper. Okay. Okay, so I'm thinking of making two moves. I'm thinking of rolling with Jimmy Stain on Hawks first half. I'm thinking of rolling with Daryl Rice on Jazz first half. Those are two moves I'm thinking of making. Then we get to the Bucks Heat, and I'm sorry that I'm taking so long going over. Oh, Peterson in tennis from our guy Prince of the City. Peterson in tennis, if all I did was not bet on any of my own shit and just followed Prince of the City's tennis shit, I might not be living in Parkdale. My life might be that, but it might be improved. Your life is improved.
Well, that's just because I'm a degenerate and I love volume betting, and it's just very profitable.
But your life has improved.
Yes, it has. Okay. I'm not always hot now. I have air conditioning and heat when I need it. It's wonderful.
And you know what? I've kept these. I'm starting to sweat buckets here. I've kept that. Do you want me to open up a window? I don't hear no shit outside.
No. At this time, there's no sounds coming from the school, so we're good if we open a window.
Do you want me to open a window? Because I'm sweating buckets
here. I love a window open. I have no problem with that. I love windows. They're great.
I'm fucking sweating buckets here.
Yeah.
I'm sweating. Okay, I'm going to open up a window. A window.
No problem with that.
Okay. People says winter, Jimmy, not summer. Look, I don't want the sound of children screaming coming into this. You know, that's it. That's what I don't want. This is why is it hot here? Okay. Let me get through. Let me get you rolling on NCAA, and then I'll open up a window.
Okay, yeah.
You're handling it better than me. I can feel the sweat. Oh, Al Hard said, Jimmy, what you got in the NHL? Very simple shit with me, Al Hard. I'm taking the Detroit Red Wings first period for a score. But look, I didn't have the balls to make it a full unit bet. I made it a 3/4 unit bet. I just didn't have the balls, man. Jansen says, how big is that room? Jimmy Jansen, you're from the 6. You come over and check this shit out, man.
Exactly. He's just at home today. Otherwise, he'd be over at University in King. He could have just freaking hopped over.
I'm home every day. Non-applicable says, Jimmy misses Costa Rica. Yeah, I do. Yeah, just me in a bottle by myself with no friends. No, I'm good. All right, Bucks Heat. Look, Look, I'm good, man. Let's get back to North America. Let's fucking do it. Okay, sorry. Bucks Heat. This game scared the shit out of me. Look, I have a healthy fear of NBA. I have a healthy fear of NBA like I have in no other sport. And this game scares me.
No.
I want to watch it. I want to study it. Prince of the City is rolling up here. Says Max has to come when I am there.
I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you guys can always just come up to me where it's like nicer and there's wider lanes to drive in. It's pretty good.
We need Max on the show. We need Max on the show.
Well, if we need Max on the show.
Yeah.
We do.
We need to support everything that Max does. And the more we support his other ventures, the more opportunity we'll have on the show, because right now we're getting $0 for this show.
Yeah.
So Max picked up an extra $0 coming down here today.
Hey, listen, Jimmy the Bag is my guy. It's my friend. And you know what? You help fucking friends out who help you out. And it's a two-way street. That's how it is with everyone else. So,
man,
I roll like that.
Look, I'm so thankful.
I also roll like that.
But Max's show at 9:30 a.m. Eastern every morning on Sportsbook Review. March into Madness. Support his show there. And then we can have him here. But we need to support Max everywhere he goes. Nilo says Max is doing the show for free. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. And I'm even going to open up a window for him.
He better open up.
I'm going to even open up a fucking window for him.
Somewhere it was 4:20 about like 43 minutes ago. So, definitely 4:20. Yeah.
Look, this Bucks Heat game scares the shit out of me. Those of you who want to take the Bucks on the second half of back-to-back, Dan Kelly broke down the stats, how impressive the Bucks have been on road back-to-backs. But look, this is everything to Miami, and this is nothing to Milwaukee, although we know Milwaukee's owner's trying to get that single-digit single-digit loss total, whatever. That's his bullshit. Trotwam says Bucks trifecta. I'm going to cheer for you guys. Then we get to Mavericks Bulls. We talked about waiting, and you guys were right. It didn't matter. Porzingis out of the lineup, and now the Mavs are 6.5-point favorites. I don't want to fuck with that. The best cappers in our chat got the Mavericks at 3. They did the trifecta at 3. Trotwam's been crushing trifectas. There's Trotwam in the house joining us. Trotwam, much respect to you. Thank you for joining us. We also got DJ Big Boss.
Big Boss.
Says, goddamn, I forgot the show started. Don't worry, because it's a new. We're back to this 5:30 timeline. So those of you who got in the Mavs early, respect. I will be cheering for you. Viper MB says, I agree. This game means nothing to the Bucks. That's facts. But it does mean something to the ownership, and I think it's ridiculous that they're going for it. And then look, the Pacers would be a play that I'd be very interested in. But I'm not going to make bets when I go over my numbers year after year in my ROI. I stopped doing it. I stopped taking small road favorites. Is it small enough at 2 points that you can back them? There's no small enough. Just road favorites under 5 points. My ROI is negative, so I'm not going to add it in. So there's the NBA card. I'm very close to making a couple moves. I'm very close to rolling with Jimmy Stain on the Hawks first half. I'm really close to backing Daryl Rice in the Jazz first half. And there we have it. So without further ado, it's time to break down this NCAA basketball card. And to celebrate that, I'm going to open up a window. I'm going to open up a fucking window.
I won't protest against it.
I'm going to open up a window.
And you know what?
What?
This isn't Costa Rica anymore, so you better fucking keep this place nice and cool. That's what campus about, right? Okay. Global warming.
I'm gonna do it right now. Okay. Well, let me get this NCAA basketball card started. Let's start with the two main events. We got two main events here. Let's start with the Duke game and then roll into the Baylor game. Or would you prefer the other way around?
No, I'm cool.
Let's start with the Duke game and then roll into the Baylor game. NC State Wolfpack, Duke Blue Devils. Duke 13-5 in conference. Duke has lost 2 straight. Let's see what the market is telling us here. We thought that Duke was, we didn't think. It looked like Duke was going to be a number 1 seed in the tournament. They lose 2 straight. Now it looks like they're going to be a number 4 seed. The Wolfpack won't even get into the tournament at this point unless they win this game. Is that too strong of a statement?
To be quite frank, guys, I'm not concerned about who makes it into the tournament. I care about who's on the bubble because that's where I take some motivation from. But aside from like guys that are playing for seeding, for the most part, I don't really count it into my cap.
I feel that. No, respect, and you're the star of the show, and it comes to NCAA basketball. All we want to do is listen. Duke opens up at -13, and Pinnacle comes down to -12. This total opens up at 151.5. It goes up to 153, 153.5 at Heritage, 152.5 at Pinnacle, and Bet Online. We got Robbie Tagaloa's action, the Samoan Thunder in the house. I'm going to copy and paste that right now. I'm going to copy and paste that right now. All right, so I'm going to open up a window once we set this spot up. Does Duke seek revenge for what happened? NC State 88-66. Can you call it, what do you call it, a thrashing on February?
Well, it was an absolute destruction. I've never seen Duke look that freaking bad in my life. Going in there, not being able to execute from the perimeter. We know that they're cold from the three-point line, but the fact is, what do you need to do at this time of the year? Use your big man to your advantage, and you have to do that this time around. The reality is, if you're going to let NC State score 44 points on you in the first half, you're not going to win a lot of games, whether it be at home or whether it be on the road. Listen, we got to take into consideration this is a team with a major home court advantage. I think that although this is a team that is not trustworthy of laying this double-digit spread, you have to look at NC State in this spot. They had a really good offensive catalyst from DJ Funderburk and Markel Johnson being able to score the basketball and really lead this offense, not having to use or test the capabilities of NC State's bench. The way that I looked at it this morning is the way that I look at it right now. I lean towards NC State at the number because I cannot put my belief, even at home, that NC State's going to be able to not get some shots, that they're not going to be able to get onto the glass. It's really going to be more about what they do defensively. I think that this game is going to stay under, even though the line has moved the other way. But as far as making an official pick on the show, I think that the first half, if you're going to play something on Duke, that's the way to go. If you're looking for something full game, you play NC State. And if you're looking at the total, I think you play the under.
The under is a very interesting spot. Let's talk about what the Wolfpack have done last 3 games. So 6-point losses at home to Florida State and at North Carolina. What did you think of those 6-point losses? Let's start with the Florida State. Florida State's nasty group. Did you get more respect? So they beat Pittsburgh 77-73 on Saturday. They have a nice second half comeback. Is this a team that you believe in? Is this a team that's going to, like, a lot of people believe after that beatdown that they gave Duke, that Duke's going to come back and smack them back?
I think that it's something that a lot of us that watch college basketball see happen very often, but this is a year that's different from past years where we don't have as much – we have a lot more parity than we do. We've seen Duke not be able to score the three-point shot. We've seen them really try and focus on getting Vernon carry the basketball, and I think that's the recipe with this Duke team at this time. Until I see hotter shooting that is led with good defense, it's hard for me to lay this type of number. I will point out, though, when a team plays Virginia and plays Virginia's defense and then plays another team after, it's probably going to be easier to get shots. It's probably going to be easier to get better looks at the bucket. There's going to be less off balance and less usage of the shot clock, you would say. But with North Carolina State, they're the team that I think is going to struggle to get to 70 points. They're the team that I think overperformed last time, and being on the road, I expect them to have to play a lot more defense, and I don't expect them to be as illicit from the three-point line as they were.
So 88-66 was the final score on February 19th. The spot you talk about Duke losing 2 straight. What was the double overtime loss at Wake Forest more?
Well, it was the fact that they blew the lead to Wake Forest. It was the fact that they didn't execute against Virginia when they had opportunities. You know that Virginia was going to bring the help defense anytime that you threw the ball to Vernon carrying the low block. If you can account for that and have some sort of pick and roll that you can run off a pass from there, well, you're going to see what happens. Jay Huff's going to block you at the key time in the game, and that's what's going to cost you the win.
After you breaking this down, I find your look on Duke first half. At first, I felt the under was more appealing, but after we break this down for a few more minutes, I start finding Duke first half more appealing. Why is it that you're not making a move on any of these?
Just because I think that when it comes down to it, I go by what my power ratings say. I go where the value on the opener is and where I see the edge. When I look at this card, this is one of the last MEAC Mondays I'm going to have, and this is where I specialize. I prefer low major, mid major basketball with more parity, and I believe more honest line movements. Sometimes with these big games, Jim, I see line moves and I don't understand why they're going that way. With mid majors and low major basketball, I always have a little more respect for why that line's moving where it's going.
God. Okay, after the breakdown, I find Duke first half very appealing. Let's just take a look at what we'd be dealing with if we wanted to jump on Duke first half. We're going to move over to NCAA here.
Yeah, we're looking at 7, anywhere from -105 to -115.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that number.
Well, -115, no. They're on their way up to 7.5 at that point.
Okay.
Listen, that's the beauty of March, Jim. If you don't have a strong enough edge or read on the game, that's what live betting's there for.
No, I feel you. I feel you. Okay, well, let's just quickly touch on the under. I know that there's action popping off at 7 in other sports, but right here, right now, there's no time issues. Sit here as long as we fucking want. I'm going to open up a window and I'm going to pour a drink. But do you think that the under has a higher possibility of cashing because of the anger that Duke Blue Devils have of allowing 88 points to this average Wolfpack team?
Well,
do they step up defensively or do they smash them offensively?
I think you have to step up defensively. I think that you have to be able to guard in the half court, force turnovers, and be able to get into transition and use the athleticism that you have from Cassius Stanley and Trey Jones. I don't see that being utilized enough. I think that it really comes down to defense for them. This is a team that at home, I expect a performance where we're going to see this number go under by a couple points. I don't see it going over the way that they did last time just because of how the first result went. My numbers like the under. My numbers didn't agree with the line move, and I still advocate taking it now.
Yeah, I think that play makes a ton of sense. What about a first half under? What about focusing on Duke wanting to because it sort of correlates with the idea. So if that number 7 concerns me, which it does, it's a big. Not saying that they don't. I think it's such a sharp line. I think it's gonna be right around there. But if we think that Duke's gonna step up defensively and punch them in the mouth, then what do you think about a first half under?
You need defense. Plain and simple. You need defense. If you are going to let them get out the way that they did the first time out, we're never cashing that under. This under is predicated on Duke being able to shore up the defense, being able to get better shots and better looks than they did against Virginia, and that's perfectly acceptable and reasonable. So I'm looking at it from both sides. I'm looking how this game can go over. I'm looking how this game can go under. And by my numbers, by my metrics, and by my power ratings, this is still a number that has value.
72.5 is the first half number. 152.5 is the full game number. So you get an extra 80 in the second half, 72.5 in the first half. If I could give you one of those to make a move with, what would you do?
I rather take the full game.
I think so too.
I'd rather take the full game.
I think so too. Okay. Oh, look, we got Raw Mike Richards in the house right now. Says I fully agree with Max on mid majors, and I would only do Duke live. There we go. Raw Mike Richards in this joint,
Mike Richards, my guy.
Man, he's so skilled. He inspires me so much. Such
a legend in sports talk radio. Simple as that.
And rolling with us, man. Very thankful and honored. And you get to do a show tomorrow.
I'll be blessed when I do a show. Not tomorrow.
Oh, it's not tomorrow?
Yeah, not tomorrow. I'll be blessed when I'm able to do a show.
Oh man, well, God, he's just a legend in the game, rolling with us right now. Raw Mike Richards in the house. All right, I am going to make a move. God, I've got to decide. Sorry, I know I've got things to decide here. I'm actually going to hold off, but I almost feel like, because my college basketball bets are half unit plays, I almost feel like a first half full game would be. And Lamont Williams,
his
team total.
Yeah,
it's now down to 83. Respect. Man, Christopher Carter says more drinking during the show, less time restraints. Looking forward to baseball futures. Christopher Carter, I love you guys so much. I love. Okay.
Let's talk about this Baylor game.
Let's talk about this Baylor game. I'm going to open up the window. I'm going to let you get started. I'm also going to bring in a little mix because I don't want to be sitting here. What time is it? 6:17, hammering Canadian Club. Straight.
I'm all right with that.
Texas Tech, Baylor. Baylor coming off a surprising loss to TCU. Let me just set the stage here very quickly in this spot. This it doesn't pop off until
it doesn't pop off
9 o'clock Eastern. The total opened up at 130.5, now 129.5. It's low, but we've been watching Baylor play all year, and it's low scoring games. Baylor opens up at -8. Pinnacle's moved it all the way down to 6.5. That's a Pinnacle opening number at 8, now down to 6.5. The rest is got 7s across the board, although there's a 7.5 at Bovada. We had our guy Guru Sports Bets come in. And Ron Crawford saying both off horrible losses, but we had Guru Sports Bets come in and say Baylor's angry. Baylor wins by double digits. Here we have Baylor opening up at 8 and going down to 6.5, and Pinnacle being such a sharp book. So the market not agreeing with this spot. Guru saying Baylor will hold them into the low 50s. I'm going to let you take it away, man.
I think that this game really starts off with what kind of opening performance you get from Baylor in the first half. If you watch March into Madness 9:30 a.m. Eastern time this morning with Flash and Donnie and myself, I took Baylor first half. That was a play that I felt quite strongly on. And I think that when we look at this Baylor team, what have they done in first halves? They've shut you down, and you've struggled to get past 25 points. I think that there's going to be a similar focus on defense in that aspect. And let's also keep in mind that Baylor has a weakness that is kind of obvious now in their half-court defense that is being exploited on a game-to-game basis. I think that back cutting has to be shored up. Kevin Samuel of TCU was able to do what he wanted down low. I expect Baylor to have a much better defensive performance. And from the other angle with Texas Tech, I don't see this team scoring the basketball the way that I expected them to. I projected a lot better scoring production development from guys like Chris Clark and TJ Holyfield, just really haven't got it so far this year. They've been a bit of an enigma. They've struggled to get to 60 in quite a few games. This is a spot where I think that defense is going to be at the forefront. It starts with a low-scoring first half. Anybody that's on that under 60 in the first half, I support it. I tried to get the 60.5, but I could not get it at appropriate juice, so I'm laying off it. But I'm on Baylor first half -4. I'm on the under as well. I think that this is a game where Texas Tech is going to do their part to help us cash this ticket on the under. I don't trust them offensively. I trust them defensively. I trust the coaching advantage that Chris Beard is going to have. But in the end, like Guru says, this is going to be an angry and very talented Baylor team at home against an in-state rival. I got to look at Baylor at least first half.
I love your first half look. I love it. I love that it opened at 4. It's down to 3.5 at Pinnacle. Look, I had a very you can sometimes you try to be simple in sports handicapping because it's so complicated, and you simplify things. And I tried to do that at times with college basketball analysis, but these market moves. Look, you cap the game the way you expect it to break down. Look, the market move is going against spots. I'm in NBA. This market move is going against your Baylor first half. but it makes sense. It correlates with what Guru is saying. It correlates with an angry team. And I'm going to decide what to do with the NC State Duke unders. I'm going to decide what to do with that Hawks first half and the Jazz first half. But of all of these plays that we've just broken down, Baylor first half minus 3.5 available at Pinnacle is a play that I'm making right now. An official play here, I will bet it. I don't need to do it now. It's 9 o'clock Eastern. I'm making it right now. Baylor first half minus 3.5. Pinnacle is giving me – what is Pinnacle giving me here right now? Minus 109. Pinnacle is a nice book, man. That's nice juice on a 3.5 right there. Guru Sportsbet says, I've gone against so many market moves in college basketball and cash. It's like no other sport in that regard, in my opinion. What focus on your bets, my guy, our guy, Corey Simmons. We're going to get to that in a second. Tim Steve says, easy on the sauce, but I got to play some big poker pots tonight. Steve, I love you so much. What do you think of what Guru is saying there? I've gone against so many market moves in college basketball and catch. It's like no other sport in that regard.
I think that when it comes to Power 5 basketball, he's absolutely on point there. We see a lot of money and a lot of different kind of bettors coming into the forum as legal betting starts to get rolled out in more states, as ESPN and all these sports networks are talking more about sports betting. It's impossible for the viewer that doesn't bet to not get into it. And you know what's going to happen. All those guys that are alma maters of Texas Tech, of Kansas, of Kentucky, of UNC, they're going to throw 10 or 20 on their schools, not capping the game, not having a model, not having power ratings. These are the things that give you long-term success and take your mental biases out of capping. I think it's important that we understand this, recognize it, and use it for our advantage. And Guru points out one of the gimmies of college basketball, and going against market moves works 100%.
Jesus, there he is. Sorry. We got to stop everything. Angel Romero in the house right now in our chat says, what up, Jimmy? Want to say thank you to everyone who's shown their concern for me. Really sorry for disappearing on you guys, being really rough last 5 months personally, but almost out of it. Angel Romero, it means so much to me to see your name here in this chat. You are such a big part of us and what we're doing here as a group. And life gets fucked up. Life gets tough. And one thing that I've learned is that we can count on each other, on a Low Bag Nation, Low Bag family. And God, Angel, it's just so good to see you, man. You're such a big part of us. And look, I don't cap soccer. And so like, it's not a big part of the show, but you made it so special. And I'm just so thankful to see you right now, man. I'm so thankful to see you, Angel. We were reaching out, we just want to know that you were okay. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to get away from the game for a minute. We're all going to have to do that at times. But God damn, that feels good.
I do it for 7 months a year.
You do it. Well, you could do a little female college softball.
Yeah, of course. But 5 dimes has low limits, so it's hard to actually make consistent money.
God, Angel Romero in the house. Okay. God, it feels that is the best thing that's happened to me in a long time, is seeing that man's name right there. It's the best thing that's happened to me in a long time. Fuck yeah, my guy Angel is okay. And we have a giant NCAA basketball card to cap, and seeing Angel in this chat is giving me extra inspiration. I got Maxwell Smart by. Do you feel the fresh air coming in?
No, but I'm good anyways. I'm good anyways.
Okay. Okay, let's get to work right now. Angel Romero joining us, best soccer capper that I've ever had the pleasure of rolling with, and now he's back in our chat. And look, don't worry about giving plays out. It's not about plays. It's about us being together. So much love. All right, I made a move on Baylor first half minus 3.5 and minus 109. There's a few plays I'm interested. Astute Chaos is wanting me to get cold feet with the Jazz here. You know, a 2-4 homestand. They get out of Utah. It makes me think that maybe they can get their shit together. We're talking about a Cavs team with no Tristan Thompson and no Andre Drummond. It makes me want to make a move, but it's Astute Chaos understanding the cold feet, and we know what happens with road favorites, that they're dangerous. Christopher Comentini in the house. All right, there we've hammered these 2 games here on the of the big games, But Max, the money you put in our pocket is the smaller schools and the mid-level schools. Shall we get to work, my friend?
Yeah, let's move on to this Weber State Idaho State game. Plain and simply, this is a spot where we saw the line open at 6.5. We saw the total open at 141. It went as high as 146. It's back down to 145. With this Weber State team, what have we seen from them? They've been going over. They've been going over this number, and we've seen the books trying to figure out what a good number to line them at is, and they just have not been able to do so. But coming off two games where both games went over, the number that is posted tonight, and they went over by more than 15 points from the closing line total. So that gives me inspiration when I'm looking at a total with Weber State. The issue to me is Idaho State going to be able to do their part in scoring? I mistakenly this morning said that Idaho State was that Weber State was playing with revenge, but my eye vision let me down, and thank God for Matt Randall able to catch my little mistake and obviously let me know that he did. So I appreciate you, Taint Master, and
Taint Master.
And that's it. So when I look at this game, plain and simply, Jim, I'm looking at the over. I think that Idaho State struggles to keep Weber State's defense under wraps. I look for them to give up between 78 and 85 points. I look for Weber State, led by our fellow Canadian Cody John and American Jared Harding, to be able to score the basketball and dominate the way that they did at home. Win on the glass, limit your opponent's good high percentage looks at the bucket. And so I'm on Weber State minus 6.5. I got that number over on March into Madness this morning. I think that this is still a game that Weber State wins by double digits. So there's still, in my opinion, is value if you're jumping on them now.
Some 7.5s now on the board. Nice grab at 6.5. Again, catch Max's show at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time on Sports Book Review. We need to give Max as much love as possible. That's the only chance we might get him coming back here, because he's only taken one bite of his Danish and he hasn't needed to use the toilet paper yet, but it's ready for you anytime you need it.
You know what, Jim? I'm focused on this capping. I'm enjoying reading the chat. I'm enjoying watching you interact, and I'm enjoying being in the goddamn same room as him.
God, you know it feels
and
good.
He doesn't even smell bad. So perfect and lucky for me.
Okay, two very popular bets on the morning show was North Carolina Central and North Carolina A&T. Let's look at both those spots right now with Maxwell Smart joining us live here on Betting with the Bag. Bethune-Cookman, North Carolina Central. North Carolina Central opens at minus 4.5, now at 6 and 6.5, 7 at Heritage. So first off, I know that you would say to us, don't take them now. Look, and we have to be strict. We have to be strict about what moves we make, and that's why you need to watch Max at 9:30 in the morning, 6:30 out west. Bethune-Cookman, North Carolina Central. This total opened up at 139, now 138.5. Tell us about NC Central.
Yeah, listen, I'm on the over in this game. We've seen a progression in North Carolina Central's offense. We've seen Ty Graves. We've seen Evan Claiborne. They've been able to contribute offensively to help out Jabari Blunt. We don't have Randy Miller Jr. in the lineup for the Eagles, and I think that's missed. But I think that they've been able to man up and be able to take care of business. I think that it comes down to what kind of performances you can get from a guy who has shown flashes in Devin Palmer. I think Devin Palmer coming in with good size, good strength, and good width, I think that he's able to make a difference tonight. I look for this Bethune-Cookman team to really try and push the tempo. This is a game that I have the over on. I'm over 138.5. This is a spot where you look at the opponent. The opponent has the ability to score the basketball. Like I've said before, when I see a Bethune-Cookman total in the 150s and 160s, I look towards the under. And usually my power ratings agree with that. But when we're talking about a number like this, with a team that, albeit has had a lot of success cashing under tickets for you, this is a spot where we've seen an evolution. We have to take that into consideration. At this time of year, I weigh recent games more heavily than I would a game in November or December. And this is a situation where I think that both offenses are able to get up on each other. And unfortunately, you miss the best of the line with North Carolina Central, and they're unbeaten at home. They've been cashing tickets at home. So it's hard for me to suggest getting on a number that's moved 2.5 points. 2 points. I think that they still win this game. I think that's a little harder than anticipated, but defense usually wins out against tempo. So
defense usually wins out against tempo. 139 opener, a Pinnacle at 138.5. The other books at 139.
Yeah, but it's been all around. It got up as high as 141.5. So there's been some movement. There's definitely been guys. If you're arbing, you get your numbers, you hit your numbers. You're not thinking about it from personnel or team perspective. But the reality is Bethune-Cookman is going to get a lot of possessions. They're going to allow their opponent to get a lot of possessions. There's going to be free throws that are going to be made. This is a team that makes their free throws. This is a team that puts their opponent on the free throw line. Scoring with the shot clock stopped is the over's best friend. I think that we're going to have a best friend tonight. I think that offensive rebounding is going to give us some second chance points and some extra possessions. And listen, I've been on the over for a long time, and I think North Carolina Central wins the game and covers. I just can't do it from a value perspective.
What did you get the over at?
138.5.
Okay, I'm interested in that over. NC Central over. I am now making a move. A couple things. Bob Lee Swagger saying, what do you think of Nashville -1? Look, any other spot Nashville's in this, I expect Nashville to win the game. But I can't make the bet when Nashville is going up against the number one power play unit in the league with an angry and healthy McDavid and Draisaitl getting all the attention. Edmonton's going to score a power play goal tonight. And knowing that they're going to score a power play goal takes me off of that Nashville bet. I would like to make a move. I'm not making a move because of that. 74 point, the worst penalty killing in the league against the best power play in the league. I like Nashville in this spot. I have decided to pull the trigger on the under in the NC State Wolfpack Duke Blue Devils game. We just saw my man Daryl Lyles make that move, and I am now making that move as well. We talked about whether I should make that move a first half move or a full game move. It's 72.5 first half, 152.5 full game. They're giving 80 points for the second half. I'm hoping that Duke smacks him in the mouth enough so that the foul shots don't get into play. We got Junior Brown in the house now, Junior? Giving you love, Junior Brown.
Junior Brown's going to be joining the March Madness coverage on SBR with me, so I'm excited to work with him.
It's a big addition. It's a big addition for you guys. Junior Brown's Money in the Bank. Junior Brown,
don't get me started.
Star of Jammin' with Jane Money in chat right now.
Canadian compadre.
Junior Brown in the house right now. All right, I'm making a move on this total. While I do that, let's talk North Carolina A&T, South Carolina State, because the Bethune-Cookman North Carolina Central line move from 4.5 to 6.5 or 7 or 6 makes me uncomfortable. But the North Carolina A&T move is, obviously different. SC State taking the love and taking the money. And we've seen a lot of people on North Carolina A&T. North Carolina A&T opens as a 1.5 point favorite. Now South Carolina State is a favorite. Max, take it away. North Carolina A&T, South Carolina State.
Jim, I am surprised by this move, but I am going to trust my numbers over Vegas's mind fucking tricks. And I'm going to continue to ride North Carolina A&T. Simple as this. What wins you games in MEAC conference? Your point guard play and how dominant your big man is. Well, check that one off and check that one off for North Carolina A&T. Yes, they have been a little more questionable on the road, but this is a South Carolina State team that they understand, they've handled before. And I think that as long as you're able to use your horse in Ronald Jackson, keeping him off the pine and foul trouble and getting a good performance from Devin Haygood with his 6'9" body, these guys are going to be able to muscle up and body up onto Deshaun Riley and Demani Applewhite. I think that, like I said this morning, you have to be able to frustrate Rashawn Neal. You have to be able to bring help defense, force him into making mistakes, and force him to not be able to take advantage of his great court vision. This is a spot where I think North Carolina A&T is the faster team, although they have played their share of unders. I got to look towards a tempoed game. I got to look towards a game that has free throws at the end. With a volume free throw shooting team like North Carolina A&T, they get to the free throw line. You know that they penetrate the rim. It's just a matter of them being able to keep South Carolina State off of it. I think that they're going to be able to. I don't think it's a walk in the park, hence this line. I do want to point out that the South Carolina State team has been more difficult at home, but in this matchup with these personnel matchups and this advantage when it comes to rebounding, when it comes to getting to the free throw line, when it comes to three-point defense, I think that these are going to be the catalysts and the reason why North Carolina A&T is able to forego their turnover issue and really put that to bed. Dominate with defense, get out in transition, score the basketball, let your point guard run your offense. North Carolina A&T, let's go.
Look, I'm about to be sold. I do want to think about it a little more. I'm about to make a move right now. I'm about to send in the NC State Duke game because it's popping off right in 24 minutes.
Yeah,
so
cool.
I'm going to make a move there. You certainly made that sound appealing. So I'm just going to write that here.
Well, listen, I could give you both sides. I always look at the game and cap a game from both sides. I have to know how I'm going to get beat, and I know how I have to win the bet. So when it comes down to it, you got to trust what you've seen. I've watched a lot of both these teams. I've watched North Carolina A&T struggle. I've watched them succeed. I've watched them versus Power 5. I've watched them versus competition on their level. I think that this is a game where, although they've had trouble on the road, I think that they're able to cancel out some of their more obvious disadvantages, and I think that they'll be able to go in and get us a ticket winner. So, gonna ride them.
I find it appealing. Right now, I'm getting 153 on the NC State Duke game. I'm putting $100 on it. I'm getting under 153. I just took the picture of it, as I have to, and then attach the picture and then send the email.
Oh, I just call.
Do you like the picture of my that was him 30 years ago. I know it's very tiny, but that's not what he looks like now.
I just call. I'm just like, listen, asshole.
Now he's got syrup teeth.
Take my action or fucking die.
All right. I've got 23 minutes to put that bet in. I just took the picture of it. Okay, let's keep rolling. We're gonna move on. We're just gonna roll down the order here. So we're gonna keep at the 7:30 p.m. games. We're going to move on to Norfolk State, Delaware State. You did make a very appealing case to North Carolina A&T. Let's go Norfolk State. Norfolk State. The Canadians fucked that up. Norfolk State, Delaware State. This total opened up at 148. It's now down to 147.5. Very little movement on the total. Let's look at the line movement here. Opens at -9.5. Now 9.5 at Bookmaker, 9 at 5 Dimes, 8.5 at Bet Online. It's all over the place right now. And by the way, the unders getting hit hard with North Carolina State and Duke right now. Make those unders, bet them now if you want the under. I'm not saying you should do it, but bet it if you want it now. Tell us about Norfolk, Delaware.
Yeah, this is a spot where I'm already on Norfolk. I'm already on the over. The fact is, with Delaware State, even if they're switching to zone defense, they're still going to push the ball. They're still going to get their tempo, and they're still going to hoist up a lot of threes. I think that Norfolk State, playing in the first game versus Delaware State, was able to hit a shitload of threes. I think they're going to be able to continue to play Norfolk State, and I like Norfolk State. I like the combination of a scoring tandem that is more consistent and has a winning pedigree. When has Delaware State won anything? Aside from being University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and that's nothing to really go and call your grandma about. Be like, Grandma, I beat University of Maryland Eastern Shore. I got chicken tenders from Popeyes, and I dipped them in honey just like you taught me.
They're better than they were last year.
It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So I think that Delaware State, definitely that win was an anomaly. I think that they go back to what they are. I think that Norfolk State is able to keep them in a decent point range. I don't think that they get past 65. I think Norfolk State gets past 80. And I think that we're going to see Delaware State really try and push the tempo, get to the free throw line, but they're just going to be very vulnerable on the offensive glass and on the glass in general. I think that when you look at someone that can take advantage of this for Norfolk State, it's got to be a little guy. I think that when you look at the combination of Stephen Whitley, Devontae Carter, Joe Bryant, these guys can all rebound the basketball from the guard position. And when you have your guards crash in the glass, although it can leave you a little open to some run-out transition buckets, I back a team like that plays full 40 minutes both sides of the floor. So I'm on Norfolk State, been on them for a while, been on the over for 10 hours. So follow me at CBMS 420 and watch me on March into Madness on SBR. You would have already known that.
CBMS 420, 9:30 a.m. on Sportsbook Review. That's where you can catch them. And you got to get in early. That's why we kept the show at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Eastern. Our show. Look, that's not the best time to get views and to get people watching your show. 8 a.m. out west, but you got to get after it early. We added the late show, and we got Max to come down and brave the coronavirus to come down into Parkdale, his own hood, man. His old hood,
straight.
man.
Listen, I already gone to almost 2 fights because no one wants to take $100 bill. I'm like, you broke ass motherfuckers. God damn it.
Respect. Get it. Okay, let's keep rolling right now. I did just make the on the under 153. I bet it. I haven't tweeted it out yet. I got 19 minutes to do that. It's very easy to do that. All right, let's keep moving on. Maryland Eastern Shore, Howard. Maryland Eastern Shore, you just made fun of these clowns.
Yeah, but they're not that big of clowns lately. Listen, this is a team that's definitely been able to pick up the scoring, Jim. This was a team that struggled to get past 50 points earlier on in the conference season, but with AJ Cheeseman, with Ahmad Frost, with Brian Uritra, you've been able to see a little more. I wouldn't call it efficiency. I would just call it a little more execution. So plain and simply, I think that in this game, if University of Maryland Eastern Shore isn't able to shore up the defensive glass and really box out and limit second chance opportunities, this is a team in Howard that we know can score the basketball. We know with Wayne Bristol, with Khalil Robinson, with Charles Williams, these are guys that can score from different parts on the floor, whether it be at the perimeter or penetrating the rim. I think that's going to be key tonight. It's really hard to back Howard, who's lost, I don't even know, like 11-something straight games. The only play that I was looking towards would be the over in this game. This is a spot where I think that Maryland Eastern Shore can get to 60 to 65 points. This is a spot where I think Howard can do the rest. I think that we're going over this number and into the 145. So.
Interesting. Another spot where we're going against a market move. You know, when I stopped, I had this simple idea, and I touched on it earlier in the show, but I had this simple idea about wanting that half point to a point and a half market move, thinking that was in my wheelhouse if a capper I respected like the spot. But that after a few years of studying that, it's not the case. And watching Guru talk about wanting to go against these market moves, here we have another spot. Did you make a move on this?
Yeah, I'm on the over.
What did you get it at?
I got it at 139.
Yeah, it's at 139 minus 110 at Heritage and at Bet Online. All right, let me just add that to my notes here quickly. Okay, as I add that to my notes here quickly, let's talk about the next game on the card, man. It's nice having a look. And you know, when we have a full card of 30 or 40 games and Max comes down, we're going to fire through them. So we have 11 games so we can take our time, and that's the situation. We're always going to take what the schedule gives us.
Yeah, and there's only one game that starts at 7, and we're already through that. So
I respect. Mississippi Valley State, Grambling State. Grambling State opens up a 16.5-point favorites. They're now at 16. Actually, they're still at 16.5 in a few books. We had Grambling State as a play of the day from cappers that I respect very much. And let's go over them right now quickly so I can see who jumped on Grambling State and made moves, because I remember Ill Wise, my guy Ill Wise, who is a spectacular capper, is his play of the day. Actually, he's the only one now to focus on your bets. Corey Simmons did a parlay with Prairie View, Grambling State, NC Central, NC&T. That was when NC&T was a favorite. He also got NC Central -5. That was a 4-play parlay that focused on your bets. Corey Simmons did. So those guys are on Grambling -16.5. Do you agree with that look?
I was looking towards Mississippi Valley State earlier this morning on my morning show, but I definitely have gone a little cooler off of it since then. The reality is, like, when you look at this Mississippi Valley State team, Tarico Simons I think he's questionable to play tonight. And if you don't have your triplet of your offensive spearhead, I think that really puts you at a disadvantage against a team like Grambling. Listen, the issue with Grambling is it's not going to be what Devontae Jackson's doing for you offensively. It's what you're getting from the guard play with Ivy Smith and Anthony Gaston. Like, listen, these guys have been inconsistent. The shooting performances have not been there. I think that if they get into a run and gun game, even against an undersized team like Mississippi Valley State, you don't want to have Caleb Hunter putting up 30 on you. Simple as that. I think that Grambling has to slow the pace down, limit shot opportunities for Mississippi Valley State. I think that they get right offensively, but it's just a number. Even now, I'm a little gun trigger shy about jumping into. I think that the under was a good play, and I still like that. But as far as a side, I'm not going to make anything concrete, and I'm probably not going to bet it.
We found these big favorites. You know what? The issue is that as we've worked together for the last few months, every morning I wake up, the first thing I do is only when we went down to one show. When we did 2 shows, I could do it in the afternoon. When we went down to one show, the first thing I did every morning, and it would be at 5 in the morning, I would bring in your plays. And when you would back these favorites minus 16, it was uncanny that they would cover a half and not cover the full game, or not cover the first half or cover the full game. And that I almost felt like you couldn't double up on these big favorites because they're going to cover a half of it generally if you back them, if you believed in them, and you're not believing in this one. But I started, and I would study your record. I would study it, I would sit there and look at your numbers. What was working for you? What wasn't working for you? And the double ups that you made that were hugely successful were dogs. They weren't favorites.
Mm-hmm.
You had a much higher ROI on your double up dogs than you did on your double up favorites. Your double up favorites still had an ROI, a positive ROI. You had a positive ROI on everything that you did, and we put your numbers out every day. And I enjoyed, it was painstaking.
No, yeah, I'm a volume better. There's a lot of fucking data to put in.
But I respected it. And
you should see goddamn what I got to do with my records. Client records, Twitter records, show records, personal records. Like, goddamn, I should be an accountant and a bookmaker.
Oh, there's time. There's time. And you're back in Parkdale, so all your dreams can come true. Let's keep rolling through here. So a few looks. So I did pull the trigger on the Duke under. Got it at 153. That's the only thing I pulled the trigger on in this light show that I actually sent it. Only thing. And the only thing I made an official play. That's it. I'm interested in the Hawks first half. I'm interested in NBA, Atlanta Hawks first half. I'm interested in the Jazz first half. And then the 3 plays that have caught my attention here that I haven't sent in, NC Central over, NCAA&T, market's gone against NCAA&T, and that Maryland Eastern Shore over. Those are all appealing. We have a little bit more time. I had to send in that Duke NC State over because it pops off in 12 minutes. Let's keep rolling. We got 4 games left on the card because we've already broke down Texas Tech, Baylor. 4 games left on the card, and we get into Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Jackson State. Jackson State opening up at minus 11.5. 11.5s everywhere, but 11 at Pinnacle. This total low at 120.5 has gone down to 118 everywhere else, but 119 at Pinnacle. Max, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Jackson State.
Yeah, this is my play of the day from my early show on SBR. Simple as this. Arkansas Pine Bluff is very frustrating. They are very slow. They are very inefficient. That definitely suits towards an under in the situation. This line opened at 115, went all the way up to 120.5 where I hit it. I gave my play of the day out at under 120. I think that this line does not know where to settle. We're seeing guys hit both sides of this total. And I think that when you look at Jackson State, they are capable of winning this game, covering this game without this total going over. But I do think Arkansas Pine Bluff is going to backdoor cover this game. They're going to hang in. They're going to cover the 11.5. The fact is, when I look at this Arkansas Pine Bluff, they lost Sean Doss, but Marquedrick Bell has stepped in. He's coming off a huge shooting performance. He's coming off a game where I think that Arkansas Pine Bluff got a lot of confidence. Listen, this is a team that can get beat out. We saw what happened in Grambling. They were only able to score 46 points. They lost by 34 points. But they did go into Texas Southern and win in overtime at home. I think tonight this is a situation where they are able to get a backdoor cover. I think that when you look at Jackson State, Tristan Jarrett and Roland Griffin are a fantastic offensive combination. And I think that when it comes down to it, they're just not going to really care about how much margin. They're going to care about getting the win. And I think that if you look at any kind of metrics, whether it be Saberin, whether it be Bitoric or Ken Palm even, they agree with this. So I think that this is a spot that stays under. I think that this is a spot where Jackson State wins the game but doesn't win by more than 12.
And did you pull the trigger on these?
Yeah. These are my plays of the day. These are already hammered in and bet. So it's really up to your discretion whether or not you're going to tail it, because we're seeing 118s and 119s across the board, but there's still 11.5s there.
Wow. All right. Lots of decisions to be made. At least we have the extra hour on that Arkansas Pine Bluff. Which one was your play of the day?
Both.
Both.
Both were the highest rated model plays that I had today, and those are instant classifiers as plays of the day for all my SBR shows.
Respect and catch Max 9:30 a.m. Get ahead of the line movement. Sportsbook review. March into Madness. AU Rockin' joining us right now.
Yeah, and any of you guys on the West Coast, I tip my hat especially to you guys getting up razor early. And you know what? If you need a picture of my bookie's girlfriend to have a good time with, I can send to you. Well, listen, she's my bookie's girl, so I always think that she's better looking. She brings me my money, and then I hit on her. Listen, bro, you haven't seen her. You don't know. You don't know. I'm not trying to describe her here.
Dan Krug says, knowing that Max is a volume better and no, he wins more than he loses. And look, this year when I had the honor of working with Max every day, we to a T with complete 100% honesty and transparency, tracked all of his action. We put it on the screen and all that stuff. And yes, he wins more than he loses. Dan Krug says, does he play everything the same amount unit?
Pretty much, aside from when I'm like live betting, sometimes I'll raise it up to like 1.25 unit, but pretty much all my standard bets are $100 because as a volume better, I know that I'm going to have a lot of edges. I want to be able to play them all, and I want to be able to track them easily. When it comes to my unit size, I've thought about raising it during certain times of the year, like non-conference or conference tournaments time, but haven't actually done it just because I feel like if I stay my course and I stay committed and I stay solid with my bankroll management, then I'm going to end up profiting. And let's remember, guys, for a volume better, if you're winning 11 out of 20 bets with the volume that you're doing, you're going to be able to make money. I bet sometimes 1,500 bets a month. So when you think about it, and if you hit 54 to 56% of those, you're making good money. So that's why volume betting works for me. It doesn't work for everybody else, but this is where I found my niche.
Richard Lee says, copter on the way. Look, we opened the window. You're going to hear the sirens often. Max, I've seen you make, $500 bets. And the reason why I bring it up is because when I see you make those bigger bets more than your regular unit size, it's on team totals.
Yeah, just because I feel like with simulations, that's what they're best at. I think that computer simulations are the best for predicting team totals. I think that when it comes to win-loss efficiency models, I think that regression models, I think that there are holes in them, and sometimes the data doesn't account for everything that you would need to make your play off that. But when it comes to team totals, I feel that there is a lot more eye perspective that you can do if you watch a team and see what they do. Is this a team that scores contested shots? Is this a team that misses open shots? These are things that you can take into consideration when you're looking at these team totals and running your numbers, trying to find value.
Betting in Heels says, okay, I have a question. Buying a half point in the total. She said, female doing that. Would y'all recommend doing that for the total? And personally, I don't think you should ever buy points, buy anything. You shouldn't buy anything. We always talk about the juice. The juice is our biggest enemy.
That's why I feel like line shopping using like an odds portal for like SBR is very important because you're getting access to multiple books. And the reality is, like Jim just said, you want to cut the vig. And if that means having 8 books with freaking $1,000 each, that is what's going to best serve your bankroll at the end of the day, because every time you buy a point for 5 cents or 3 cents, it ends up killing your bottom line that much more. And as a volume bettor, it's something that I've had to really try and be very strict with myself, trying to get 108s, 106s. And that involves just being disciplined with the number, and it takes a long time. I struggle with this on a daily basis. So
we have a Pete Loshak tweet coming in. He's
he's starting a show soon.
No, he's ready to roll with us. We at this point we're just live guests, but Pete Loshak interested. He's trying to snag a Canadian wife. It's all facts.
Yeah, it is true. A lot of that stuff Joseph Gomez they do not account for, and that's why watching games and reading box scores and listening to podcasts like from G Unit Greg Peterson is so key.
It's so key. It's so key. We're in an information world. Get as much information as possible. But yeah, you're right. Betting and heels, you're right. Never bet points. Never pay for points. And if a colleague of yours is doing that, let them know that they're making a mistake. Okay, I'm not making a move on the Utah Jazz. It pops off in 4 minutes. I am on the under. I wanted the paint to be clogged. Now I need the Jazz to smash. Daryl Rice, I think, is on the right track. Astute Chaos giving me hesitation. I'm going to respect both of you guys. Also, my action means everything to me because this show is for you guys. There's no money coming in for right now. So I need to win now. And the edge has changed. No money coming in. I need to fucking win, and I'm not going to reach. So I'm just on the under in that spot. The only play I've added in and sent in is that under 153 in the Duke game. All right, let's keep rolling. We got a couple games left on this NCAA card before we put a bow on this motherfucker. First time Max being sitting beside me. And look, Max, I don't know. I haven't even looked at the stream. The stream is at an hour and we're at 85 minutes, hour 25. Feels like fucking nothing. God, it feels good to be sitting beside Maxwell motherfucking Smart up in Parkdale government housing.
Goddamn.
Let's
All right.
Let's go. Look, this isn't government housing.
No.
It's everywhere else. Okay. All right, let's go. Alabama State, Texas Southern. This is an actual official game. You don't even need to go to the extra books at some of them. Texas Southern, Alabama State. Texas Southern opening up at -8.5. They've been there all day, as far as I know. You can tell me if there's been a difference there. Alabama State, Texas Southern opened up at 142.5. Now we see 143s on the board. Very little market movement in Alabama State, Texas Southern. Max, take it away.
Yeah, this is a spot where we saw Texas Southern lose in dramatic fashion, losing by 24 in Alabama State the first time these two guys met, and it still stayed under the number of 142. I expect a similar situation tonight. You want to give me a 1.5 advantage off my morning number that I got? I'll lock that in. Under 143, under 143.5. I think that Texas Southern has to prove to me that they can hit the three-point shots consistently. Johnny Jones and Eden Ewing are the key pieces offensively for this Texas Southern team. I expect them to come to the forefront. I expect them to have a reversal of fortune type game where I think Alabama State is the one that struggles to get to 60 points. And I think that Texas Southern covers this number. So I'm on the Texas Southern side at -8. I'm on the under 143 or 143.5, depending on what you can get at your book with appropriate VIG. And I'm ready to move on.
It's one of Robbie Tagaloa's spots.
Is he on the under or over?
I think he's with you on that look on the under.
Listen, the guy has good taste in chicken tenders and salsa dipped them in. What can I say?
Look, I've had a chance to hang with Robbie.
You're a lucky guy. I can't get across the board.
Robbie and I rolled at the Santa Anita racetrack, and we got a chance to booze heavily together. And I was extremely intoxicated, and it was.
Was that your first time?
Yeah, it was my first time ever drinking, and very thankful to have Robbie Tagaloa look after me, walk me to a cab like a gentleman.
You know what? As long as he didn't put his hand in your pocket and take your wallet out, you know what? I respect that.
Look, Robbie Tagaloa is the truth,
I would have fucked with you like that.
The Samoan Thunder.
I would have fucked with you like that. I'd been like, had you in the cab, would have followed you another cab, would have fucking pulled up at a red light, been like, hey, asshole, here's your wallet. You gotta pay the cab fee.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Prairie View A&M. We get to Matt Randall's taint play of the day right now, right at the witching hour, 7 o'clock Eastern time. We know the ball's about to tip off in a bunch of NBA spots. The puck's about to drop in a bunch of NHL spots. And it is the witching hour when we get to Matt Randall's taint play today. Matt Randall is going to be joining us live here in Parkdale in a fast minute. Pranked. Prairie View A&M minus 14. It's been around there all day. This total opened up at 133. It's down to 131 at Pinnacle, 132 everywhere else. What do you think about the play there? I bet it. I put $100 on it.
Yeah, I'm already on this game two ways. This was official plays from my SBR Madness show with Donnie and Flash this morning. I got under 133 on the total. I got under 62.5 on the first half. I'm happy, content, ready to rock and roll with those boys. I think that with Alabama A&M, yes, this is a team that really struggles to score the basketball. This is a team that on paper doesn't really look like that they would. I think that Cam Tucker and Cam Alford have to be able to score the ball, but I don't think that against the impressive on-ball defending of Antoine Lister and Jared Andrews are going to be able to do so. I look for my guy, my favorite SWAC player, Devontae Patterson, to man up, be a beast on the glass. These are two teams that don't shoot the three ball well. They don't take a lot of shot attempts. They get to the free throw line, but I'd rather them do that than hitting a bunch of bombs from long distance. I think that this is a total that I respect and understand why the line's moving in my favor. Gives me a little bit of pause thinking about how Guru's been looking at these lines, but I'm on the under first half full game, and I like it.
First half full game, Alabama A&M, Prairie View A&M. There was somebody else on that under. I remember when I was going over the
Stephen Priest.
Stephen Priest, good call. Stephen Priest, great capper. Interesting. On the under, I'm going to add that to my notes right now so I can look them over once we are said and done here. The Prairie View under, and very little movement in that game. Prairie View A&M under.
Jim, do you realize that I haven't gone on mute one time?
No, you haven't need to.
I haven't gone on mute one time. Isn't that awesome?
I would like to tell you that your nose is healing. It's healing.
I wish.
I wish.
Guys, wait till tomorrow morning. You'll be able to tell Jim if my goddamn nose whistle is healed or not. No, the mute button will not go on when I have the headset.
No, look.
Look, Joey Baker already to steal. We got 35 seconds without a point. Yeah.
There we go.
Let's go under.
Let's go under.
Ugly.
Brick, fucking brick.
I want an ugly Jenny on Saturday night. Take her home and give her a baby.
Let's see those knuckles with scar tissue all over.
CJ Bryce had to make a three. You son of a bitch.
Fuck.
3 points a minute's okay. I'll take that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. But CJ Bryce, we've asked you to tank tonight.
Why are you even starting CJ Bryce? Go back to North Carolina. Go back to UNC Asheville. You son of a.
That's beautifully put. We have one game left. Oh, no, you've already hammered it.
We've hammered
Weber
it.
State,
Yeah.
Idaho State. The witching hour has attacked.
Yeah, we're finito.
We've capped this fucking card.
We've made it through.
All right, so I didn't pull the trigger on the Jazz first half. And I have enormous respect for Daryl Rice. I think Daryl Rice is on the right track. I just, no money's coming in, Daryl. And so I'm slowing my quantity of action down.
Well, listen, you gotta be a little more financially responsible. Take a little less fucking handies underneath the bridge. Well, fuck, you gotta do it.
Which bridge is this?
Well, it used to be Liberty Village, but now it's moved to north of Dundas. So on the north side of Bloor, where Dundas West starts.
Okay.
So there's a bridge under there where the runners go, but there's also ladies of the streets, and they got rough hands.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very appealing.
Listen, bro, until you've had it, you don't know.
No, you're right.
Okay.
Oh, you're right. I respect that.
Okay.
Daryl Rice says I'm hurt. Daryl, I got you forever. Daryl, we're just getting started. Look, Daryl, no money's coming in. So I'm just keeping shit tight. Look, I'm on the under in that game. God, is that still available? Daryl Rice comment, is that still available right now? That hasn't changed. Let me just take a quick look. Catch Mac. Look, we're not going anywhere. I do have a poker game in an hour and 26 minutes.
And I got fluids to get extracted after I kill this board tonight. And of course,
you're gonna wait for 4 or 5 hours?
No. I'm gonna go on the TTC, stop off at Davisville, and fucking visit one of my ladies of the night.
Okay.
I don't want to bring them home. Oliver will try and get on it also. He's a bigger pussy hound than I am. Holy crap. He's about two things, my dog Oliver. He's about liver treats, and he's about putting his face in between women's thighs. I'm telling you.
Look,
let's try to cut my grass.
Let's keep the conversation to humans.
Like, listen, bro, I'm not into bestiality. I ain't trying to freaking get down.
Just if we can.
I did see a gangbang of squirrels on a chihuahua today, but that's a story for another stream.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was shocking.
Jesus.
It was shocking. The bus driver pulled over.
Oh, as he should.
You know what? Go bus drivers. They're driving on the highway. They see these things. Yeah. This guy stopped in the middle of the highway. Bro,
hit the fucking e-brake.
I thought it was dead. I thought it was a dead man.
I'm, in my history in shitty housing situations, I'm used to that cat that makes that sound, that sound from the bushes where she wants the other cats to run a train on her.
Oh, God damn.
You know that cat. You know that.
I've heard it over on Spencer Avenue.
Is that a good impression?
Yeah, that's just
yeah.
You're bringing back like traumatic fucking memories.
It's the signal to the other cats that
it's like glory hole's open, and we're not talking about the donut store, Nilo.
No, Nilo. Sorry, there's no mustard there either, Nilo.
Fucking honey, bro, honey,
right.
Gold.
All right. I'm looking. Oh, by the way. Oh, no, of course, that Duke's. Okay. Sorry, it's like, okay, look, I beat that market move. All right, a quick look at that Jazz spot. It's still available. Jazz first half, I guess, hasn't tipped off. I guess it's about to tip off in a second. -5.5, -115. Look, Daryl Rice, I think you're going to cash. Daryl Rice.
I like Daryl Rice, and I also like Rice.
Really?
Rice College.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
good.
Robert Martin, bro.
Because white rice will go right to those titties.
Oh, I got titties for days, so it's all
well, stay off the white rice. He's only taking one bite of the Danish, and I get it.
You know what? Listen,
he didn't want to bring this into play.
I don't want to have to start freaking licking my fingers and making all those noises. This is a Blue Yeti mic. This is gonna pick it up.
No, you're right. I would stop the show.
Well, if you did, I would understand why.
All right. Well, we'll keep that on the wrap. You guys will find more surprises under hats as we move forward. Jeremy Miller says, I see a lot has changed since last time we saw you. Yes, it has. For good. Okay, I've got some.
Gained 2 pounds since the morning show I did on SBR today.
Yeah?
I ate a bunch of barbecue chicken and roasted potatoes. Too much.
I don't know. There's nothing wrong with the chicken.
Hey, bro,
all right, I got a big poker game to play in 1 hour and 23 minutes that Sammy B, low bagger Sammy B is going to play. I'm going to get a good video of Sammy B walking into this motherfucking joint. See how Sammy B rolls. Look, I've liked Sammy B for a long time. I respect this guy. I'm looking forward to run with him at the table. Kevin Garrett's much love to you. Do you have your what are we at 7? Okay, 7-4. I can
11 points. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Do you have all your action in one thing to kind of roll through, or just the quantity is too much?
Right now, some of the lines have moved, but I'll just give you guys like my best recollection.
You said breast, but
breast. Okay. I'm thinking about breast. No, I'm on the over Bethune-Cookman 138.5. I'm on North Carolina A&T -1. I'm on Norfolk State -9 over 147. I'm on Maryland Eastern Shore over 139. I'm on the Grambling under 155. I'm on Arkansas Pine Bluff under 120.5, and I gave out 120 as my play of the day on the show. And I'm on the +11.5. I'm on Texas Southern -8. I'm on Texas Southern under 143, and I'm on the under first half full game in Prairie View in Alabama A&M at 62.5 and under 133.
And catch Maxwell Smart 9:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday. Sportsbookreview.com. You know, it's very, very important to support Max as much as possible because he's coming down all the way to Parkdale out of love of capping and hanging out with us and caring about the low baggers. So we need to support him as much as possible. So please do that for us. Also share the link for this show, man, because we need – look, I'm never going to ask you guys for nothing. No cash, nothing ever.
I will.
I want your cash to stay in your pockets.
I'll sell you a used tire for $40.
But we do need sponsorship, and we do need this link passed around so our numbers can jump up, so people will support this month.
And if you hate my guts, you should watch the show anyways, just so you can freaking make rude comments in the chat to me.
There were almost none.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm like, usually on Liveline, there's like 20 guys talking shit to me.
Not tonight, my friend.
Wow. Rod Zawacki, I like that guy.
Same
Rod Zawacki, your picks are nice.
Birdcage, a.k.a. Birdcage.
You're going to beat that shit. Birdcage, Robin Williams. Rest in peace.
All right. I'm on Red Wings first period plus 200. I stayed off the Predators, but I do think they will win. I'm just not going to make a bet on the worst penalty killing in the league against the best power play, even if I believe in that spot. So I'm staying off of it. Jeremy Miller says, been killing it in tennis. Nailed 3+ money parlays today. Plus 1152 and 957.
Ooh, damn.
Get that shit. Get that shit.
My local pipe fitters would be your best friend.
I'm on the under 221. I bet it at 222.5. I made the bet. Everybody heard I made the bet, and they tried to fade me. Jazz, Cavaliers. I'm going to delete this first half lean. I was going to roll with Daryl Rice. But look, Daryl Rice, there's no money coming in. I'm not getting paid right now, so I got to keep my shit tight. I'm on the under 230 Rockets. Knicks. And then I have plays that I'm going to add in a second here. I just need to sit alone, not on camera, and figure out what the fuck I'm going to do. Look at Lamont Williams, max bet, Duke solo under 85.5. That went down to 83 come tip off. And it's 7. Oh, it's still the commercial break, 7-4.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are
missing shots from outside. So
these are the plays I'm very close to adding. I've got 19 minutes to decide what I want to do on the Atlanta Hawks. I think I'm going to take the Atlanta Hawks first half. So I've got to make a decision about that. I got 19 minutes, so take your time. Atlanta Hawks first half. North NC Central over, NC Maryland Eastern Shore over, Texas Southern under, and Prairie View A&M under. I just need to sit with for a little bit. I will tweet out if I pull the trigger on anything. Daryl Rice says stay off. I'm watching now. Daryl Rice. Oh, Daryl Rice, you're a good man. I love rolling with you. I love rolling with all of you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for supporting, because we are going to be here twice a day. Look, we're going to be here whenever you want us to be here. It's your show now. It's your show now. Let's fucking go. But the reason why this show was special, because Maxwell Smart up in this motherfucker.
You know what? I feel special, but I don't ride the special bus.
No, respect.
Gotcha.
Respect. Max is going to take just the TTC up to a Davisville spot.
I'm just cheap. I don't want to pay some freaking mutt to drive me in their Uber when they can't even drive or know where to get around. I would end up smacking them in the back of the face with something I can't say on the stream.
There's no rules anymore.
Oh, I would take a freaking 14-inch dildo and smack him in the face with it. Don't ask why I have that dildo. It's just for beating people on the street. Okay? You don't want to use a gun. You don't want to use a bat. But if you fucking beat them with a 14-inch dildo, probably can't get charged. Yeah, don't worry, Jim.
I still want to thank Maxwell Smart for being here, even after that. I love you guys. Thank you for joining us. Oops, Squad Cap 68, not applicable. Perfect rotation. Mark Unkefer, Daryl Rice, Chris Brady, Liberty Finder, Shan Nicholas in this beast, Walla Walla Dose, Jim Rome's a douche, Alex Ramirez, Ick Schnizzle, Dylan Turner, not applicable, King Weasel in this joint. We have nothing without you guys. Thank you for subscribing and liking and supporting, because we have nothing without you guys. Let's get that fucking cash, man. I'm going to walk over. I'm going to end that stream over there, but I'm going to need you to give us a fucking leche. Time it right. So take your time right now. Take your time.
This is the first one.
Get ready.
There's no Freddie doing it, and I'm close to the mic so you cannot hear me. And I'm going to give it the first late show. Leche a los bookmakers.